friends, I'm Courtney and welcome to my channel. If you haven't already done so, I suggest watching my January wrap-up video where I talk about the 6 books that were print that I read that month, as well as the 3 audiobooks I read. So a grand total of 9 on my way to reading 100 books for the year. Also, feel free to head over to my Bookstagram and my Twitter pages for more up-to-date content that I post more regularly, just about daily, that you can engage with there instead of waiting a week for each of my videos to come out, which I encourage you to watch those as well. So today we're going to be talking through my February TBR or to be read pile. So February is a short month, 28 days. I don't think it's a leap year. So 28 days, 3 days less than last month. So that might mean a whole book, maybe 2 not being read. If I did like a audio and print book kind of combination for 3 days. So I need to be strategic and think a little bit more about my time management for this month. I will be doing another reading vlog for this month, so I think that's going to be a monthly thing. And if I find others that I think could be reading vlogs as well, I might do those as well, but I at least have one for February. So the first book I have is a reread, but a different version of a reread. So I have Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is the second book in the Harry Potter series, and this is the illustrated edition. So my friend Michael does a reread of the Harry Potter series annually, and I checked in with him last month to see if I can join in on the fun, and of course, like, he's all on board, we're gonna talk through them. So he's already read Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, and I was quick to say, okay, let me know when you're done that, and I will jump in with Chamber of Secrets since I've read the entire series already, but not the illustrated editions. So I'm excited to read through these. My friends on Instagram have all said that the illustrated edition just opens your mind to something a little bit different, where it's the same story, of course, but the detail of the illustrations just pull you in and just entertain you even more. So I can show you without giving too much. Well, if you've read it, you kind of know already. So this is kind of one of the spreads, for example, of, I can't remember, what is this? I'm not even looking. Oh, okay. So this is them heading to, probably back home to Ron's house. So that is that scene. But yeah, I'm excited to read through this in a different perspective, I guess, and more of an illustrated visual kind of sense. So far I'm on let's see, I'm on chapter 3, the Burrow. So that's Ron's house. So that's where that's where that scene was. So I'll be excited to read through that. And I told my friend, this is probably the one I have not returned to as often as the other books or even the movies. So I'm excited to see what other details I pick up, not just visually, but like the content and the plot wise, that I can appreciate this book more, because it is the sequel, the first sequel in the series. So there's a lot of pressure for sequels to go well, but I think this will be a great experience and I can't wait to share with my friend. I'm also reading Beartown by Fredrik Backman, and this I think is going to be a TV series. I don't think I have the platform for which it's being streamed, but that's okay. I don't necessarily need to watch it now, but I wanted to read the book first. So I am a big fan of Fredrik Backman. I've read Britt Marie Was Here. I've read My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry, A Man Called Ove, and Deal of a Lifetime. So I'm excited to continue my Fredrik Backman obsession reading, I guess. So this follows the small town of Beartown, where it's kind of a dying town. And the one way to save it is that this hockey team is a bunch of teenage boys is getting kind of put on the spot to bring the town back to life by winning different games and tournaments. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'm excited because Fredrik Backman's work has a lot to do with community and like the unique qualities of each member of the community and their quirks and what makes them likable. So I am very excited for this. My friend Shantae over on Instagram also was reading this and was trying to stay away from the spoilers of the TV series, because I think this is a series, or the first in a series for the town. So I don't know how much the TV show will be going into past the first book. So I'll play it safe by just reading this and then seeing what people are saying about the show in terms of the book content versus the TV content. Over also on Instagram, I did a poll to ask which book I should read for my February reading vlog, and I knew I wanted to do a book focused on Black History Month by celebrating or commemorating Black authors. So this was the pick. It won by 1 or 2 votes. The other books were Men We Reached by Jesmyn and The Confessions of Frannie Langton by Sara Collins. So those two I might also read this month, but I am doing a reading vlog for this one specifically. So this is Twisted, The Tangled History of Black Hair Culture by Dabiri, and this talks about kind of the taboo topic of black hair and what that looks like, what westernizing black hair looks like. And I know I am a product of that. I am a biracial woman, but I do have black curly hair. So I've struggled a lot with that, and I'm hoping by reading an account by another Black woman who has gone through very similar struggles of what does it look like to be natural, to love your hair and not feel pressured to do what the Western society tells us to do when it comes to hair. So I haven't had, at least some background, I haven't had my hair chemically straightened probably in about 10 years. And that I think has been one of the things that has been pretty common with black hairstyles, is to have it chemically straightened. So not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just excited to see what Emma has to say as it comes to embracing your hair texture and what, well, I'm just looking for ways to make it something I can be proud of and own instead of be frustrated by. So yeah, I think this will talk through like the pros of having black hair and what that means is for being a Black woman, but also what does that look like in society for our different hair types and hairstyles, and when people want to touch them, and kind of like, I don't know, the things that I've seen, experienced, heard in a lot of my lifetime about what it means to have black hair. Next up, I have The Little French Bistro by Nina George, and I've read Nina George's other book, The Little Paris Bookshop, and loved it. I read that in an entire day, gave it 5 out of 5 stars, so I have high hopes for this one. So this follows a woman who is in a loveless marriage, and she decides to go to a different part of France in Brittany just to get away and start over in a way. So she meets some interesting characters there and develops some relationships and tries to find herself. So I am excited for this. I'm always a fan of women who are seeking out happiness and not sticking with like being settled or I guess settling for something when they have such high hopes for themselves and they can do more potentially by themselves than being in a relationship. So I always commend not just women, anybody that sees them for themselves. So yeah, I'm excited to dive into this one. Then I also have Eleanor, Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, and this has been on my unread shelf for a long time, so I'm excited to finally dive into it. So this follows Eleanor as she struggles with social skills. She has like a very regimented schedule and likes to stick with it or stick to it and doesn't really veer astray or like change too much until she meets this gentleman and her whole world is kind of turned upside down. So she has to adapt, but also find out what life is really like, not just planning things out minute by minute. So I think this covers maybe mental health and maybe some social disorders. So I'm interested to see how that's conveyed in written form. I don't know if it's in first or third, it's in first person. So that'll be interesting too, to get her mindset and her perspective as she goes through life and goes through her day-to-day, and then when things get turned around, how she copes and deals. And finally, we have I Miss You When I Blink by Mary Laura Philpott, and this is a collection of essays that spans from work to home to life, everything in between, in more of a women's empowerment or perspective. I am very excited for this. I've been diving more into nonfiction and memoirs, but I haven't read a collection of essays before. I was inspired when I read What Kind of Woman by Kate Baer, which was a collection of poetry. So that kind of also spanned what female empowerment and independence looks like in a range of different aspects of our life. So I think this will be good too in essay form to tackle different topics that I'm interested in, maybe have thought about but not really flushed out what that means, and some rationales behind actions that I take or things that I can encourage myself to do, knowing that somebody else's story has kind of empowered me or motivated me to do so. So yeah, can't wait for that. So those are the books I plan to read for February. As usual, it is subject to change as more things kind of pop up. I feel like I'm going to do a vlog or a video on YouTube about how I pick up a book and what is my process as I'm looking through the books I owned. If I'm enjoying one, maybe I change what I want to read next. So well, as a teaser, I try to stick to the list that I just gave for each month of what I plan to read, but the order of them change. What does that look like? So yeah, I'm excited to film that one. That was one I got requested over on Instagram when I asked what kind of topics would you like me to cover further on the vlog besides my to be reads, my wrap-ups, my reading vlogs, and bookstore tours. So feel free, if you have any other ideas that you'd like me to cover for the vlog, let me know in the comments below. I'll also be continuing my Read Around the World challenge, so I'll be going to Russia with an audiobook called Romanov, and then I feel I'm also gonna hit up Brazil and Israel, so those will also be audiobooks. I am finding that it's been a little challenging finding books that I currently own that are set in different countries that aren't like Anna Karenina or like big name ones like that, which there's nothing wrong with that book. I want to find something that's not what you think of immediately when you think of Russia or a certain country. That's not like the, oh, you have to read this book because everybody else has read it. So we'll see if some other countries, as the Read Around the World Challenge continue, are more of the popular books, or there's other ones I can find that I can add to my list as I develop these country specific reads and ones that might be helpful for other folks that are trying to cross them off their list as well. So yes, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and also the notification bell if you want to know immediately when I post videos. Usually I post these on Monday mornings around 8 o'clock Eastern time, but if I have two that week, it's probably going to be Monday and Wednesday. So just depends on how much I'm able to film in the weekend leading up to, and also editing, producing the video itself. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to support me further, I have my Ko-fi and Amazon wish list linked below. So I hope you have a great day and happy reading.